How you going? Dunburn fishing here again. Got a bit of good reviews on the last Haines video about owning one. So I thought maybe some people want to know a bit more about the things to consider when buying a big boat. Some of the things that I found, well, look like this. When people go look for a big boat, you know, like whether it's a single bloke or family or whatever, you know, you might take the wife, get her to come in with a look at it, take the kids, or you've just had a boat and you're trading up, and you know, you're looking at things and you've looked at Boat Point and bloody 1,000,000 other boats on the internet and everything. And then I think people get overwhelmed with, that looks nice and that looks, you know, that's what I want. Well, then there's reality of once you've owned a boat, what will shit you off. Like, I guess this depends on where you live too. I'm in the Whitsundays area, so it gets hot. Everywhere gets hot. You know, everywhere gets hot, everywhere gets steamy, gets muggy. Sometimes it rains, sometimes it doesn't rain. It's a nice hot day, sometimes sunny day, sometimes windy day. So I'm going to talk today about the cabin. The cabin where you operate it. Like, okay, if you're a center console person, this doesn't apply to you, but you might be thinking about, if that's your thing, but you might be thinking about going to a cabin boat, which I just watched a couple of videos on YouTube of other YouTube content bloody creators buying boats, and it made me think about touching on this subject. So what I found is I've had a couple of cabin boats now, and even on a nice day, going out in the nice morning, this area here. So wind flow. You got to talk about wind flow, breeze in your face, when it's hot, cooling down. Because on a hot friggin' day, when you're out on the reef on a glassed out day, there's no wind. The reason you're out there fishing, because there's no wind, right? And it gets friggin' hot. This enclosed cab here with these clears, even with this airflow here, you can't stand in there hardly without those open. It just cooks you. It's just hot. It just makes your head sweat. It's just stupid. Even with the front hatch open and the wind flowing through underneath, in here with this zipped up, is just, it's frustrating. It is, you can't believe in an open boat how hot that can get. So I see people when they buy cabin boats with full glass, I imagine this would have the exact same effect. Now, I know with this front system here, you know, when there's wind coming, you've got to have these so the rain don't get you, or the side water don't splash on you, all that stuff. Yep, it's a necessity, and I totally agree. Straight away, you got to open this up. For me to drive even 15 minutes with this all zipped up, and unless it's flogging down rain or whatever, it's hot as friggin' hell in here. It just gets this dead air feel in here, because it's like just a return of dead air. It doesn't seem to vacuum it out. Nothing comes in here. As soon as you crack that unzip, as soon as you just open that zip, that's all done up. As soon as you open that zip and you just push like that, just the wind roars through here. So straight away, you got that rolled up there, and that wind just funnels through there. Obviously it rolls up to there. That wind just funnels through there beautifully. Now also, if you have that zipped up, like that, and then you just have that unlit, like that, you would think that wind would come in there. It barely comes in there going along, unless it's coming from that angle. So I see with the glass cabins, where they slide this little window back, unless that wind's coming from that way on your quarter, you ain't getting nothing. And if you're coming through the waves this way, right, and the wind's splashing on this side, that means you're getting a bit of spray on this side, so this one's done up. That means the wind's going from you that way, because that's the way the wind's coming from, so there's no air coming in. Trust me. I've done this, right? This is not a make-believe story. So, and that's the way the wind comes from. So then if it's the splash, say if you get a bit of, you know, like splash going through the seam. So you can have that open, gets a little bit of something there, but it's not actually coming in. Sometimes you can open that You might be able to just open that quarter up because it's splashing that way, and that's just enough of wind to get on your face. Now this is a big factor, because when you're uncomfortable and it's hot all the time, especially on a calm day, because that's when you're going fishing, it becomes unbearable. My last boat, it had, the windscreen was quite high and this thing was quite low, and it had these little small clears through here. Now the trouble with even that, I could open them up, but the windscreen was above your head height, like here when you stood on it. And to physically get wind, the wind would come over the windscreen like that. So physically you had to stick your head up to get a bit of breeze on your head, because down underneath it would go over you and not be even cool. So you'd get something, but so I found that this is a big contributing factor of what type of boat that you want to buy when you want to buy a cabin boat. You got to have breeze in there, or something where maybe the front windows, whatever, you know, can get, you need air, because that's right, it gets hot. What else to consider? Anchoring. So, and also what I found was, I've been in a few other boats, anchoring. If you yelling through the boat at the person trying to undo the knot because it's got tension on the rope, forward, back, yeah, everyone's yelling, go forward, go back, what? And just constantly yelling backwards and forwards, it's also quite dangerous because you can't communicate properly. And so I found doing this with that window open there, I can communicate to whoever's tying up or untying or whatever's going on to anchor safely. So normally you come here on this boat, it's got electric winch. Now the thing is, you control the winch from in there. So I'm putting it down, I'm telling him, you can just drop it down, that's fine, but you're talking about now untying it. So you got to take the tension off, whatever, so you drive forward or try and pull it up, undo the rope, and then, say I fish in 200 foot of water, 140 foot of water, these winches don't just pull on straight. That just doesn't come on straight in 140 foot of water. Look, if you're fishing 10, 15 foot anchorage, well, this doesn't apply to you. 140 foot of water or a bit more, you can't just wind that up. It'll just build up one side and over the side of the drum it goes. So even though it's coming from the center, or it builds up in the center. So someone's got to be here in 140 foot of water winding the rope on, usually pushing over with their foot to try and get to wind all the rope on. Push that way, push that way. So it's not all just Skittles and beer when you've got electric winch, thinking it's just going to just wind up. Now, in 140 foot of water to 200 foot of water, or even 100 foot, to pull that chain and that plow anchor up, this Lone Star winch, great big winch, still pulls it up easy, but it smokes a lot of battery power and it struggles like a lot. It does pull it up, but it's not ideally what you want to do to your winch, especially pulling that bigger load, especially if you've got all that chain and everything hanging off because it's deep water. So, say if I'm fishing between 160, 180, 200, 220 foot of water, about 200 to 220 foot, that's as much rope as that can hold without going down the EMA and that chain. Could probably get a little bit more in there now because I had some probably fray, but that's it. It's maxed out. So that's only just big enough to have around 200 foot mark. So, and also that winch doesn't like pulling that chain up from 200 foot down. So we run a buoy system. I don't know if people are familiar with how these work. That used to have a chain, that thing on it, but obviously it bent. So this is the trouble with when you're anchoring, and if you want to do a bit of deep water fishing. So once that anchor's down in the water, you need this rope then connected, this connected onto your main anchor line. So that's probably seized up now. It obviously needs maintaining. And you reach over the side, so you need to be able to reach over and grab hold of that anchor rope and attach that onto the anchor rope. Throw that whole buoy over to the water. That goes in the water. And then you take off in a big arc, and that buoy will run down the anchor line, and that'll rattle right down. If you just keep powering on, you just keep going on a big arc, and once it releases off the bottom, that buoy will actually come on a right angle as it's going down, and then use it like a lift. And then the buoy actually hooks onto the chain itself, And then as you see, what it'll do is the rope will come out on a big straight road, and then the buoy will start, it'll hit then the buoy will surface and like you're towing a whales through the water sort of thing. Just big rooster tail come off. You know it's hooked onto the anchor. You spin around, use the electric winch to then wind the rope back in. Because at that depth of water, you physically pull that off the bottom, that, you know, you're pulling a couple of ton of boat against the current, trying to pull it up, so not ideal. They're great in shallow water if you're just going snorkeling or 50, 60 foot. You just drop it down, lift it up, away you go. No worries at all, but we're talking deep water here. We're talking other things. Also with the Haines, I can't run a reef anchor. I can only run a plow because of the way they've done this stupid thing here. I can only run a plow through there. I can't use no other anchor unless maybe I put a chain sock over the chain and then run the anchor down up and over the top here, which is what I'll probably end up doing, and putting a bit of protection on the front of the boat, and then I'll just pull the chain out and latch the chain here. But that's working for now. The plow's been working for now, but yeah, I can't run a reef anchor at all. Just got to keep running those. What else for the boat? So then I can communicate with the anchor when I'm untying that. Communicate like straight to the operator. Say go forward, go back, where it is, and I'm winching, so I've got to winch that up there. So I'm the one pushing the button when someone else got their feet and hands here. So I know you can get remote switches here, which would be ideal. If I was gonna buy it, I'd have a remote switch up here where someone can physically do it themselves as well as a secondary. Because I believe that's a bit of a safety feature where someone's back there and you're trying to do something up here. It just feels like you really got to. So when you're yelling through an enclosed cab where they can't hear you, and it's at night time where they can't see. So I've got that good work light there. If you see at the cab there, that good work light. That work light's on so they can see what they're doing here as well. I'd really prefer if I was to wire the boat that I would have a work light in here, shine onto the anchor rope, and then one like that where you can see down over what's going on down there as well. At night time, most of the times when you've pulled anchor at night or whatever's happened, you've pulled anchor because it's probably rough seas or something's happened or whatever, and you need to retie. Well, there's not somewhere you want to be up here. So you want to make sure you can see what everyone's doing. You want to make sure you can hear what everyone's doing for a safety thing. So, and also, how do they get up here? They climb around the side of the cab. If they can't get up here, can they get through the front to do it? So there's a lot of safety features you've got to think about boating to make it safe for everyone's benefit. What else? The walk-around's good. I find the walk-around's quite good to walk around this boat with the, there's a bit of deck room here. The last boat had no room to get around here. It's got plenty of spots to hang on to, which is fine. Get around here. Yeah, so what else? I found building a canopy for shade is a must for everyone. Some people don't like it, but I find it depends on where you live once again. A good canopy with a good handrails all around is very practical for people to, if you're getting something built or you want someone to make your canopy, don't just make it fancy and straight with no lines. Make it practical, but people can hang on. People can grab onto stuff. People can grab onto stuff where they need to hang on to, because last thing you need is people with nothing to hang on to, and everyone's just hanging on like this. And yeah, definitely need somewhere to secure yourself. Makes it safer for everyone. What else? Make sure your knives are tucked away somewhere safe where they're not just like a shit show. Make sure you've got somewhere for all your pliers to go. Make it so it's all nice and tidy. Yeah, and all the other stuff. So, all right, that's about all the video is for the Haines. Same as when I fill it in, you fill it there. Make a neat workstation. Put all the bait straight into there. So you just fill it your fish or your for bait or your squid or whatever, cut up and put it straight into your workstation there. And everything's tidy. Sinkers aren't rolling around there. Yeah, put some. When you consider buying a boat, have a look at all the practical things. Don't think about just all the, oh, that looks pretty and that would be nice, and because you won't talk about the things like that about the heat and the, you know, the cab or whatever, because it just looks pretty. But you'll find, look, I'm, you know, up here in the front of this boat with that wind flow now, it's already, you can feel that. Yeah, so anyway, make sure you've got plenty of wind flow, plenty of shade, plenty of safety for the kids, and plenty of safety for parents or whoever you take. Think about everyone, the whole topic of buying a big boat. Don't just look at it for, yeah, me and the boys are going to run with that, or if it's just you and the boys, that's fine, because also the next person who's buying that boat will also look at some of those safety features as well. All right then, thanks for watching. Just talking about, like even here before I finish, Dad comes, Dad's 70-year-old. There's nowhere to put your feet here in this boat. See, there's nowhere to put your feet. See, so you've got nowhere to hang on to. So you're sitting here, if that's not there, you're just flapping like this. See? Now that's shit. See, the driver's got somewhere to put his feet. Sitting here, I'm telling you. So, you know, my dad struggles with putting his feet there all the time. So you've got a good handle here for him to hang on to. And when you stand up, if you stand up here, looking around, you can hang on to here. You can hang on to there. Because I find if someone's standing there beside you talking, they also need somewhere to hang on to. Handrails are a must. Even getting down into the cabin. So down into here, it's a fair step down to there. Turn down to get down in the cabin. And also you need somewhere to put your hand to grab to get out. So, yep, you can grab there to get out. Stand up, because it's normally rough and sloppy if it's rough or if it's calm. So, all right then. Yeah, thanks for watching. Just a few more tips about buying a big boat, or buying a bigger boat, or buying a cabin boat. Thanks for watching. If any other things you want to know about, my opinion on it, it's only my opinion. I've owned the boat for a fair while now. And yeah, so just put them in the comments. I liked all your comments from the last one about how much it cost. That's just the reality of it all. You'll never find some of the fishing shows. I see a lot of videos with new boats. Oh, just put the new motor on it, and it's just, you know, it's only cost me this much, whatever. It's getting this fuel economy. It's getting 1.8, 1.6 with a dead empty boat driving through the harbour. No, it's not. Eskies, fuel, people, fishing gear. Long run, not a 10-minute run. It's getting 1.1, 1.2. I'm sorry, mate. If you own a 250 or a 300, you might get 1.2. You might want 3 in a little boat, but yeah, that's what you're getting. That's the reality of it all. Yeah, you could probably get a little bit better, but yeah, it depends on how far you go. Which is that's actually what works out on how far you go. Like, if you do a short run, yeah, you can get good fuel economy. You start doing 2 days, and you'll find out the full average over 2 days becomes right down. So, you know, if you just do a nice 20k trip, no worries. Like in my little Thunburn, I find that I get, you know, if you poke it down to the creek, this little rig, I poke down here, mate. This little rig, if you go nice and easy, sitting on 4,000 revs, I get 3.3 k's a litre out of it. Now, if I start doing a big river run, where I'm doing 40, 50k run, you know, you want to sort of get down a bit quicker, you start pushing 4,800 revs, well then you've already dropped it back to 2.3, 2.4 or something. So that's it. It's just how it rolls. The longer you go, the more you learn about it. All right then. Thanks everyone for watching. If you've watched this far, thanks for following Thumbone Fishing. And yeah, I'll do more on the Haines if that's what you just want to see. Talk more about the reality of owning the boat. It's been 2 months now, just on 2 months, and it's just been rough. Can't get out. Haven't used the boat for ages. I can't get out. It's shitting me off. Just done a nice big wash and polish it today. Cleaned her up, ready to go. So, all right, thanks for watching.